Welcome back to Big Nick's Meats and Treats. Today we're doing a special treat for Christmas. We're going to do lemony lemon bars. They just make your mouth pucker. They're so full of lemon flavor and zest. And today I have a special sous chef with me, my grandson Ryder. Ryder is 8 years old and he's going to help me cook. You ready to do it, bud? All right, let's do it. Okay, first thing we need to do, I'll let you put the ingredients in there, is we're going to take a ½ pound of room temperature butter and pour it into our mixing bowl. So go ahead and pour that in there. If you need to use this to scoop it out, we can do that, okay? Next thing we need to do is take a ½ cup of sugar and put that in with the butter. Good deal. Now I'm going to hook this up to my mixer. I have the paddle attachment on. And we're going to cream the butter and the sugar together. Should just take a minute or two. You want that to be well mixed. So we'll let that go for a minute or so and we'll get back to you in a minute. All right, we have the sugar and the butter creamed together. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour. So pour that in there, buddy. Don't pour it too fast or we'll have a big snowstorm in here. I'll take this off. There you go. Pour that in there. Good job. How is it being a sous chef? You like it? Good. And then 1/8 of a teaspoon of kosher salt. Pour that in there. And now I'm going to put the mixer on low and mix this all together. And this will actually be our dough for the lemon bars. So I'm going to mix this on low and let that go for a few minutes. And we'll get back to you in a sec. Have everything mixed together, and as you can see, it's a pretty dry dough. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this out and I'm going to dump it on a cutting board that has got a lot of flour on it, and I need to form this into a ball. So I'm going to get all that out, and I'm basically going to just try to form this into a ball here using the flour. Try to keep flour on your hands too, because it's a real dry dough. We're basically making a shortbread that we're going to put into the baking dish, and that's going to be the base of our lemon bars. All right, so now I have that. I'm going to take my baking dish, 9 by 13. I took some butter and I wiped it all around on the inside of that. And I'm going to shape my dough to fit the baking dish all the way around the bottom and up about a ½ inch on the sides. And you should be able to work it with your hands because there's plenty of butter in there. So as you work it with your hands, it'll get more pliable. So I'm going to go ahead and shape this into the rest of the pan, and we'll get back to you in a sec. All right, we have our dough worked into our pan here, about ½ inch up on the sides. Now I need to put it in the refrigerator probably for 30 minutes or so, just to let the dough chill before we put it in the oven. We're actually going to cook the dough before we put the filling in to do a par bake on it. And I'll talk more about that when we come back. See you in a few. All right, we've had our dough chilling in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. Now it's time to put it in the oven and par bake it. Par bake means just partial bake. So we're going to put that in a 350-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes or until it's really lightly browned. You want to get the oven door for me, buddy? All right. Okay, shut that. We'll see you in about 15 or 20 minutes. All right, our crust has been baking for about 20 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the oven. And I'm going to let that cool to room temperature, and in the meantime, we're going to work on the filling. All right, while our dough is cooling off, we're going to start working on the filling. And the first thing I need to do is I'm going to take 6 large lemons and I'm going to zest them. So in other words, I'm going to get the peeling off. I'm going to use a real fine grater or microplane, whatever you want to call it. And I want to make sure when I'm getting the peeling off that I'm only getting the peeling and not the white part, or the white part's called the pith. You just want the yellow part. If you get the pith, it gets real bitter. So just work on getting the yellow part off. And you're gonna have to probably do 6 lemons because we're gonna need a total of 2 tablespoons of zest. So I'm gonna work on this for several minutes. This is the labor of love right here. This is why it tastes so good. I'll finish up this zesting and we'll get back to you. So we have our 2 tablespoons of lemon zest done. The next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to squeeze all these lemons. You can make this recipe with lemon juice that you can buy in the store, but it's nowhere near as good. So I'm going to cut all 6 of these lemons in half, and I'm going to use a juicer. And what I do is I take a bowl, put a sieve on there, and I juice the lemons over the sieve to catch any pulp or seeds or anything like that. And 6 lemons will give you about a cup of lemon juice, and that's what we're shooting for. Ryder, you want to try and do one? Here.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go. I'll move the bowl closer. You gotta push real hard. Good. Nice. Big muscles. Good. Nice. Good job. Good job. You want to try and do another one? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, here you go, bud. Oh, let's see, we caught seeds. That's why we got to have that in there when nobody wants to eat seeds. All right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of these. We're shooting for 1 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice. I'll be back in a few. Alrighty, now we're ready to take everything that we prepared for the filling and get it mixed up. So I'm going to take 1 cup of flour. You want to pour that in there, Ryder? Okay. 3 cups of sugar. Seems like a lot of sugar, but we're doing a lot of lemon. So 3 cups of sugar. Oh yeah. Our 2 tablespoons of lemon zest. You want to pour that in there? Let's get all the little tasty tidbits out of there. Okay. 6 eggs, 6 extra large eggs. Ryder cracked all these by himself, and I only had to pick out just a couple pieces of shell. Not bad. Okay, 6 eggs. Good job. And the 1 cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice that we hand squeezed. Okay, pour that in there, bud. Nicely done, sir. Nicely done. Now I'm going to take that all and I'm going to put it on the mixer here with a whisk. Whisk that all together. Get that all mixed up and we'll see you in a few. We have our filling all mixed up now. I'm just going to pour it over the top of our crust that we let cool. It's cool enough that I can touch, and we're just going to pour this over the top. Let's get all that little lemony goodness out of there. Nice. And then I'm going to put this in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes, still on 350. And we'll see you in about a half hour. All right, it's been about 35 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and pull them out of the oven. Oh yeah. And you'll see right around the edges you have a little dark brown crust. That's a good indication that it's done. So we have to let these sit now for several hours. We want them completely to room temperature before we put some powdered sugar and dig into them. You ready to get some of that lemony goodness?
Yes.
All right, we'll let them cool and we'll do it. We'll see you in a little bit. All right, I think we're ready to dig into these. They've cooled off quite a bit. I cut them into squares, and now Ryder, you want to put some powdered sugar on there? Make it snow, baby. Make it snow all the way around. Get to the edges over here. Nice. Over there in that corner. Get some in that corner. Nice. All right, that's good. You ready to try one of these? All right, let's dig in. So I took a knife around the edge of the pan just to break them free. Oh yeah. There you go, bud. Get myself out one. Let's just taste this. It's probably going to be really sour after eating chocolate gummy bears, don't you think? Oh my goodness. How good is that? Did we do that? Isn't that lemony? That's so lemony. I think lemony is a word. All right. Should we do watch my work? So, you guys all have a great Christmas and a good New Year, and we'll see you sometime after the New Year. Until then, watch me work, baby. Watch me work.